Let's be honest, choosing the right network cable can feel, well, a little overwhelming. But getting it right is the difference between a network that just flies and a total troubleshooting nightmare. So today we're going to build a super simple framework to help you pick the perfect Arista connectivity every single time.
So here's the plan. First, we'll talk about the connectivity challenge itself. Then we'll walk through the 3 big questions you need to answer: speed, distance, and form factor. After that, we'll hit the most critical step, the compatibility check, and we'll wrap it all up with some essential pro tips you can use right away.
So let's just start with the big picture. Why is this so complicated in the first place? Well, it's because our modern networks are built on this huge, diverse family of what I like to call the unsung heroes. All the pluggable optics and cables that actually move our data around.
Yeah, we're talking way beyond a simple point A to point B connection here. Today's networks need everything. You've got short-range copper cables, fiber that can span entire cities, and even these really complex breakout cables that can take one super high-speed port and split it into several smaller ones.
And that leads us to the million-dollar question, right? With a portfolio that has this much flexibility and this much choice, how in the world do you quickly and efficiently find the exact right part for the job? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out.
Okay, first things first. The absolute first question you have to answer is, how fast are we going? The data rate isn't just a detail. It's the fundamental requirement that's going to guide every other choice you make.
And you know, that need for speed is just constantly accelerating. I mean, for years, 10 gig was the king. Then we all leaped to 40 gig, which quickly gave way to 100 gig as the data center workhorse. And now, 400 gig is the new benchmark, with 800 gig right there on the cutting edge. This crazy fast evolution is exactly why so many options exist today.
So the key takeaway here is pretty simple. No matter what you're building, Arista has certified, tested options across this entire spectrum. Whether you're supporting some old-school 1 gig connections or you're architecting a brand new, state-of-the-art 800 gig fabric, you're covered.
All right, so once you've locked in your speed, the next piece of the puzzle is distance. You know how fast you need to go, but now you have to know how far. And this decision is what's going to determine the physical media you're going to use.
And really, this choice boils down to 2 main options. For those really short distances, like connecting switches inside the same rack, direct attached copper cables, we call them DACs, are super simple and very cost-effective. But for pretty much anything beyond about 7 meters, you're going to need the power of fiber optics.
Now you might think fiber is just fiber, but nope. Even here, there are 2 main flavors. You've got multimode fiber, or MMF, which is perfect for shorter runs inside a building or a data hall. Think up to a few hundred meters. For the really long distances, though, you'll need single-mode fiber, or SMF, which can send a beam of light over incredible distances.
And here's a cool trick. You can actually decode what an optic does just by looking at its name. These little suffixes tell you everything you need to know. SR means short reach. That's your multimode. DR means data center reach on single mode. LR is long reach, going out to maybe 10 kilometers. And for the really long haul stuff, ER and ZR can push a signal over 80 kilometers. It's like a secret code. Okay, so we've got our speed, we've got our distance. The third big decision is all about the physical package itself, the form factor. So what shape of plug do you actually need to fit into your switch?
Think of it like this. The form factor generally gets bigger as the speed gets faster. Lower speeds use this compact little guy, the SFP, or small form factor pluggable. Then for 40 and 100 gig, we move to the QSFP, or quad SFP. And for today's blazing fast 400 and 800 gig speeds, we need these larger packages, like the OSFP on the right, to handle all the extra power and cooling required.
And hey, here's a fantastic pro tip for you. Always check the color of the pull tab. It's actually an industry-standard code that gives you a super quick visual cue about the transceiver's reach or type. And trust me, when you're staring at a switch that's completely full of these things, it is incredibly helpful.
All right, so you've picked your speed, your media, and your form factor. You're all done, right? Well, not quite. This last step is the one that ties it all together and makes absolutely sure your choice is actually going to work. The compatibility check.
Now, this is a step people miss all the time. Compatibility isn't just about a physical fit. Because all Arista switches run on our EOS software, you have to make sure that your switcher's specific software version actually supports the transceiver you've chosen. And thankfully, the process is really straightforward. First, you identify your switch model. Second, find the part number for the optic you want to use.
And third, you just use the Arista transceiver guide online to find the minimum EOS version that's required. That's it.
So for example, if we look at this 400 gig OSFP table, you can see the DR4 optic needs EOS version 4.23.2 or higher. But look, the longer reach FR4 optic needs at least 4.24.0. A quick 5-second check like this can literally prevent major headaches down the road. Okay, we've made our choice, we've checked compatibility, we have the right gear. Let's finish up with just a few practical, hands-on tips to make sure your installation goes off without a hitch. For the actual installation, it's a simple process. Make sure the bail latch is closed, then slide the transceiver into the port. You'll want to push firmly until you hear and feel it click right into place. Then, and only then, do you connect your fiber. And notice that I said clean fiber cables. There's a really good reason for that.
And that brings us to the absolute most important basics. Please, always use an ESD strap when you're handling these components. And here it is. The #1 cause of link failures is a dirty connector. So always clean your fiber ends before plugging them in. And for your own safety, remember these are Class 1 lasers. Never, ever look directly into an active port or the end of a fiber cable.
And that's pretty much it. A simple 4-part framework: speed, distance, form factor, and compatibility. If you follow those steps, you can navigate the world of network connectivity like a pro. So now you have the playbook. The only question left is, as networks keep getting faster and faster, what will your network need next? Thanks for joining me.